First United, it's time once again for your favorite activity, COVID-19 update. I am sure you're aware that last week the CDC issued new guidelines regarding the pandemic, and then the Florida Annual Conference sent information out to all the churches as well. Our guide team and medical team have looked at the new guidelines and they have decided we are ready to take the next step, move forward to the next phase for our COVID-19 protocols. The CDC, let me just read to you what the CDC says. The CDC says that if you are fully vaccinated, you can resume activities that you did prior to the pandemic. Fully vaccinated people can resume activities without wearing a mask or physically distancing, except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws, rules, and regulation, including local businesses and workplace guidance. So now we cannot require, but we highly recommend that if you have not been vaccinated, please do so. We will not be checking or asking about an individual's vaccination status. We are assuming that you're taking full responsibility for your health. But moving forward, as of today, Wednesday, May 19th, 2021, here's our new COVID-19 protocols at First United. There are no pre-registrations required for worship. If you wake up on Sunday morning and you want to come and join us for worship, we meet at 9 or 11. If you're like, hey, I want to get there, come on down. We'll be glad to have you. I do want to remind you that we're always online. We have a 9 o'clock and an 11 o'clock that we live stream, and it's on the web all week long. So whenever or wherever or however you want to worship with us, love to have you. As of today, we are no longer requiring face coverings to be on campus. It's up to the individual and or their family to decide whether or not to wear a face covering. We will not be mandating social distancing. I do want to make you aware that some people may not be comfortable with you sitting right next to them. So we're going to encourage you to continue to practice that a little bit. But First United, you've been great at that for years. I mean, just think about how you'd come to church and you'd sit on the end and leave that whole gap in the middle. Yeah, keep that up. Keep doing that. We will tell you that June 7th, we're going to move back to normal office hours. That means Monday through Thursday, from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, and Friday will be 8:30 to 12:30. You may say, well, why are you waiting until June 7th? That has a lot to do with some of our volunteer receptionists and getting some things straightened back up in the office for that. At this time, we are not changing our policies to children and youth. We're still going to require the face coverings and practice social distancing as best as they can. And you may be saying, well, why are you doing that? Well, because the vaccine for people 12 and up has recently been made available. So the majority of that population hasn't had the opportunity to be vaccinated yet. When the majority of that group has had the opportunity to be vaccinated, our teams will readdress that situation and move forward from that. Now, just some thoughts and some recommendations for you. If you want a children's ministry, we have that at 9 a.m. Service, and we have Rooted Student Ministry at 6 p.m. on Sunday. You don't need to pre-register. Just come and join us for that. So that we recommend all children and youth, let them start coming back and having a good time and doing that, learning about Jesus and God loves you, period, and connecting with some friends. Some other things we want to remind you of, we're called to love our neighbor. And with the face coverings, I mean, there's some people that believe you got to wear them, and there's some people that believe, nope, you don't need to wear them. That's a personal decision and a personal choice. What I'm asking you to do is whatever reason you have, whatever you believe, remember, whatever you do, however you do it, and whatever you say, do it with the love of Jesus at mind. I really don't want to push this idea of social distancing. You may be totally fine with sitting right next to somebody. You may be totally fine with going up and giving somebody a hug. They may not be. Loving your neighbor is asking permission to say, hey, can I sit next to you? Or say, hey, can I give you a hug? And if they're like, no, then be respectful and just say, hey, I love you too. Nice, kind, loving Jesus kind of way. Also want to talk about creating some emotional space for people. Because this pandemic's been 15 months, and we've all had some type of issue, scar, hurt, trying to figure this out. So give them the space to develop. You may be here, and they may be here. Give them the space to come to where you are. Loving your neighbors, remembering none of us have been through this before. We're trying to figure out our best way forward. Let me tell you, as always, First United, I'm so grateful for your patience and for your grace and your understanding as we've been navigating these ever-changing waters. I am really excited about this next step in the protocol. It feels like we're starting to get back to some things that where I'll get to see your face again. I'll see your smile again on some of y'all. And listen, if you want to give me a hug, just come and say, hey, Scott, I want to give you a hug or a handshake or whatever. And if you're wearing an FSU shirt, it'll happen. If not, well, I'll hug you anyhow, probably. Listen, y'all have a good day. Peace out.